Welcome to the Mucked Up My Self-Care podcast.
I'm Jill from New York.
And I'm Linda from Tasmania.
We are two moms from opposite sides of the world who are living, demonstrating, and helping moms across the world build their self-care asset bank.
Ready to dive in? Messy, interrupted, imperfect, and most of all mucked up. Let's get going. Good morning, good evening. Welcome to Time Shift on the other side of the world.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Yep, it's an adaptation, that's for sure, every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still got 1 month before it happens here, and then it's just going to be all kinds of crazy when we get together to record.
Oh, yeah. That's right. At least your clocks go back the right way. Like, when the clocks go back rather than forward, I actually end up putting my kids to bed an hour early for as long as I can. Whereas now, if I put them to bed an hour early, it's actually 2 hours early in their brain, sort of thing. So it's like, yeah, bedtime's taking a little while to adjust to.
Yeah.
But
oh my gosh, it's gonna
we'll
be
get
it.
Yep, exactly.
So
Highs and lows.
Off with highs and lows. So yeah, we like to talk about something that has brought us joy or just a great moment for the week, and giving space for us to be good with that, as well as the opposite of that and the low, something that surprised us or that we've had a challenge with this week. So yeah, let's jump into that. Linda, do you want to go first?
Sure. Okay, so high for me is we spent a lovely day today catching up with a friend who I'd lost contact with after everything that's happened. And so reconnected. She's got a new little bub now, and the kids are about 6 months apart, and they just played and played and played. And then she had another friend come over who's actually moved over from the States, and she had a little girl. So there were, four plus the baby, four of them, and they just played beautifully and she has chickens, so they were going and collecting eggs and jumping on the trampoline and playing with cars and checking out the garden, and cooked the eggs that they collected for lunch. And we stayed there for about 5 hours, like when it was like, wow, it's almost 3 o'clock already. So it was really, really lovely to just have that time to be able to, interrupt a chat and all that sort of thing. And it was really, really nice, very fulfilling. So really good. Low for me is preteens that borrow your laptop, adjust a heap of settings, and then don't change it back. I literally picked up the laptop tonight to record, and I didn't have a mouse cursor. I was like, then when I finally did have a mouse cursor, it was like half the size of the screen, and now my right click and my left click are all messed up, and my cursor's like, I've got a shadow behind it, and I'm just like, what, why? They've installed apps and games onto my laptop, which I don't want. I'm just like, no, this is not okay. And it wasn't even one of my kids. It was a borrowed kid. It's just no. I don't have much stuff that's mine, and really, in hindsight, I could have just said no, but I was in the middle of everything, and they wanted to play some games together, and so I was like, yeah, okay, but not again.
No yes.
Nope. Yep. We've learnt our lesson. Anyway, it'll take me a while to fix it, I think. What about for you, Jill?
Let's see. My low is kind of where I've been, between my dad's health and school, separation anxiety stuff, nothing has been letting up. So I'm extremely exhausted. I'm losing sleep. I'm just so fatigued. But I'm trying to remind myself this is just a season and we'll get through it. So yeah, so just super heavy stuff between all the things going on that side of my life. And yeah, that's it. We're not going to dwell there. A high. We are, watching Declan really excel in some things that he does. And those two really come down to be his karate lessons and his drum lessons. And it's been a lot of fun to watch. He's about to earn his first iteration, we'll call it, of a black belt. So as his
Wow.
Yeah, and
my God.
They call it ninja little ninjas. They're the 4 to 6 year olds, and they go through a few different cycles and renditions of different belts. So this is his first black belt as a little ninja that he'll be earning in about 2 weeks. So it's very exciting that he's coming up to this milestone. And I'm hoping it inspires him to continue on, because he is always inspired by the bigger kids that help out and wants to be a black belt like a lot of them. So I think this will help getting this milestone. And in his drum lessons, he is really picking up some fun stuff. Last week, his instructor asked him what kind of music he listens to, and his favorite band is Creedence Clearwater Revival Band, which threw his instructor for a loop. Like, wait, what? You like classic rock? And he's like, I'm bringing stuff next week for you to start learning how to play. So I'm hoping that brings some inspiration to Declan and gets him excited to start actually practicing more instead of just like willy-nillying it. Because he's just throwing it there. But we are seeing improvements in the things that he's learning in class. He's implementing in his playing around. So that has me very excited. So I look forward to it. We have lessons this afternoon, so I will be able to give an update next week when we meet again.
Sounds awesome. Yeah, really good. Music is so important, I think, for them. It teaches so many different skills. Yeah,
it does. Well, with all of that, I know I am lacking in a lot of self-care, and we've kind of been touching on that the last few episodes too, that like all the things that we have going on, we're not really back to a good spot in where we've been consistently doing our self-care or really like getting what we know we can get out of it, like plugging our energy leaks and restoring energy back to us and just taking care of ourselves. So where are you at with how you're feeling about your self-care?
Well, a day like today where I met a new friend, the kids met new friends, and I had really great conversation, and I definitely feel like that was a massive self-care opportunity. And well, not opportunity, because it was massive for me to be able to do that. So that has definitely given me a fresh refresh to try and continue to catch up with others when possible. I'm still feeling disheartened though when a lot of people are just so damn busy, and we're busy too. Like, don't get me wrong, but it was nice to be able to just pop into someone's house and see that it wasn't Instagram perfect sort of thing. And a lot of my experiences in the past have been people wanting to sort of not invade that space because they feel embarrassed or not ready, or like trying to then go to a park or go to somewhere else, which is also good, but it's a different sort of the kids have different needs when you're at a playground or something like that. They're pulling you to come watch this and do that. Whereas if you're at someone's home or someone's coming to your home, I think it's much more relaxed for the kids and for you as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They tend to go off and play on their own happily and enjoy
Mm-hmm.
each other's company versus needing to include your attention as well.
Yeah. So, and I think as we're coming into spring and summer, there'll be a few more opportunities at least to be able to get out and do a bit more of that. However, it still has been definitely lacking lately because I've just been concentrating on the kids a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it has meant that my self-care has lacked and diminished and been put aside because of their needs and everything else. I'm still wondering how I do fit it into the week sometimes and incorporate it the best way that I can, because right now it's sometimes jam-packed. We have days where we literally, my eldest especially will leave at 8 and not get home till 9 p.m. He's got one day of the week where he's literally got back-to-back stuff. So, yeah, it's how do we work around that? I definitely know that I need to just do a few more of the little things, like pick up a book for 10 minutes even, or make sure I'm having a shower, like brushing, like those basic stuff, but still important.
Yeah.
What about for you, Jill? Jill, how are you feeling and navigating the lack of self-care?
I'm definitely on the struggle bus with it. I'm disappointed in that I've set myself up to be able to do self-care and I don't do it. Like I put a time block on the calendar and I kind of let whatever is happening be self-care. Quote self-care. And it's not necessarily that I'm putting intention behind it then. I think that's what disappoints me the most is that I'm not following through with the intention. And that also that like I thought, I've been doing kickboxing for a few months now. I really thought that would be a great way for me to go ahead and get started with more movement, but figuring out that it's just not the right time because so many other things get jumbled up in my evenings now because of it. I haven't quit because obviously there's a commitment there monetarily for a little bit longer that I'm feeling stuck in it. So it just disappoints me that one, I'm already so tired and not feeling great going into it. So I'm not putting my full self into it. And two, I know that it's chaos around it that I don't want to even be there anymore. It's just not good self-care. So at what point, I'm just disappointed in myself because at what point do I just stop and, throw my hands up and say, well, so what? There's only a few more weeks left. I paid for it already. We just need to shift to make it better for all of us. But,
so let's talk about the disappointment, because I know for me, disappointment usually stems when my expectations don't meet the reality. Like, that's a huge part of the disappointment feeling, emotion, stuff that comes up. And I think for both of us, sometimes what we desire or our expectations can be, even just through doing this podcast, you're like, okay, well, we're at episode 123 now. Surely our self-care must be pretty good. I mean, we meet up every week to talk about this stuff. Why do we keep mucking it up? So it's that really big comparison I think we make, and the disappointment is when expectation is X and you end up with A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, L, M, N, O, Z. Like, it's just, and so I think we've definitely talked about this before as well, when our expectations are different to our reality, and our
Mhm.
expectations of self-care need to be stripped back. I'm still on the bus, I guess, that having no expectation when it comes to self-care is also not ideal all of the time,
Right.
because we just make do. There might be times when we are surprised and we're like, yeah, I can do this. This is better than I thought it was going to be. But generally for me, when I strip back all expectation, my motivation goes blue
Yeah.
and falls in a heap. Yeah.
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 And then you just allow it to keep passing you on. Like, okay,
There's
I don't
not
need
as
it.
much
Yeah.
to look forward to. You
Yeah.
don't sort of dream about it and
It
everything
can
like
wait till
that. So,
next week. And
hmm
I think part of that also is making sure we're giving ourselves the grace to allow ourselves to not have expectations sometimes, but not so much so. I guess it's really just the shifting the expectation. Instead of holding ourselves at a high expectation, it's learning how to shift those expectations and not eliminating them completely. But maybe instead of, we've talked about this way, way, way back before. Instead of, it's not the and, like, you're not going to get this and this and this and this all done. It's, I'm going to get this or this or this or this out of this experience. And as long as you're coming away with one of those things, you've met that expectation then, by instead of making it insurmountable, you're making it achievable by shifting that expectation and giving ourselves the grace to figure that out. That it, like for me, with kickboxing, actually, like there's certain things in there that I love it. Like I might not have a great workout, but I still moved my body. And walking away with saying, I still moved my body today. That that met the expectation of what self-care was supposed to be for today. Or I got to watch Declan have a really good time, even though he annoyed the crap out of me. And I felt so much pressure trying to keep an eye on him while working out. I got to watch him create new friendships from the sideline while I was working out. So that brought me joy, and accepting that as just a little bit of something to take out of that moment. And you forget about those when you're so wrapped up in the pressures that you're putting on yourself, that I still have all these other things to do now that I took an hour out of my time to go do something for me. I'm still feeling disappointed because there's just so much other stuff going on, but I'm forgetting to give myself the grace that that's life. That's my life. And I can go without cooking a full meal and just go ahead and grab, something frozen from the freezer and throw it in the oven, and that's okay.
Mm, mm. It's interesting because when I was listening to you just then about what you can take away, it made me think about how we essentially, I think, need to read the room when it comes to our disappointment, our possible disappointment, or our expectations of self-care. So if you're going into a kickboxing class and you've only had, let's say, 2 hours of sleep the night before, and you know that you might be getting sick, and you haven't had a chance to eat any dinner, and like, that the kickboxing class is probably not going to meet your expectation,
Yeah.
compared to the other day when excuse me, when things have run smoothly and you have had a decent night's sleep, perhaps, in a perfect world. Or, we need to probably read the room with our expectations as well, and think, okay, shouldn't take long, but there's all these other things which are happening right now. So I'm going to go into this self-care and just get the bare minimum so that I can still have some self-care.
Yeah.
Or you're able to step back and go, I'm going to go into this self-care knowing that at the moment, the kids are settled and they're watching TV, or they've just had a snack and everyone's been to the toilet and no one needs me to wipe their bum, and like, all of the things. And I think I'm going to try and do a little bit more of that in reading the room, both going into the self-care and coming out of it as well.
Yeah.
And reading what else can I take away from this, even though it didn't go to plan. So
Yeah,
hopefully that can help with a bit of the disappointment.
definitely. Like in last week, I was presented with it. I was just so tired one of the days. I was like, there's just no way. And I'm going to skip tonight. The self-care really needs to be, I need to stay home and take care of me in that way. So being more mindful of, how are we going into that self-care personally in ourselves? Are we completely drained where that's not the best type of self-care for us, that we wouldn't be able to see what we can get out of it? And making the adjustments there. So I'm glad you're going to be taking that away and applying it now this week.
Yeah. Definitely have to check back in. So if you are looking to go into self-care with a little bit of a leg up, if you like, we have got a cheat sheet, which we like to refer to sometimes when we just don't have the bandwidth to think of different ideas or just what is going to suit whatever situation we're in at the time. So we'd love you to reach out to us via email. All of the details are in the show notes as well. So or if you are feeling disappointed or you've overcome disappointment in your self-care, we'd also love to hear from you in how you're doing that or what you thought of this episode. Yeah, we'd really love you to reach out.
Because we know we're not alone in this.
Yeah, for sure.
We might be talking about what we're going through, but we'd love to have some input from anyone listening to help us through it too, because we're just talking about what we're going through ourselves right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Help a girl out here, Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
thank you, Jill.
Yeah. Thank you, Lena. We're glad you're here listening, and we hope that this helps you going through your self-care journey as well. But
exactly. Yeah.
Until next week, then.
We hope you can unstuck your muck.
Bye.
Bye.